So I just got a little video here explaining the skill selection used for the Robotier build. So first of all, I tried this build way in the past and I drew the conclusion that Death Trap was a complete waste of time because he didn't deal enough damage. The fact is, if you're going to run this build, you need a Roid Shield. And a purple Roid Shield or the Seraph Punchy, they'll work fine. You can get a purple that's just as strong as the Punchy as well. So the melee shields. I'm using the Hydra Terramorphous. This is going to be your best option. So if you want to work towards something, this is what you're working towards. It does mean you're not going to get a lot of benefit from the shield, but Death Trap will get a huge benefit from having a Roid shield attached. Don't you be trying to melee things with this build. There's no point. All that minor increase to your melee damage simply won't be enough. Stick to your guns, use your Anarchy, but Death Trap, he needs the melee shield. Or the Roid shield, whatever you want to call it. With this one, we're also increasing our cooldown rate so we can spawn Death Trap sooner. When he blows up or when he expires, there is a really long wait time on this action skill. So increase that cooldown rate as much as you possibly can. You do get some cooldown rate on the Robotier class mods. The legendary Robotier class mod is the best option here. And I'm also using a Chain Lightning just so that I can range things like buzzards. Use the Chain Lightning to blow them to pieces. You can use Transfusion Grenades here. They can heal Death Trap, but the thing is he has that many hit points. The Transfusion Grenades simply won't do much. They won't heal him much at all. If you have a Siren in your party, I like to see what that would do if you've got a Nurse Siren with Elation. I think he gets some pretty crazy healing from that because all team benefits affect him as well. Weapons don't really matter, but if you can slag things or have an element to charge Death Trap, charging him with an element will make him deal double damage. And if you can slag things for him, then even better. So with the skill selection, first of all, you need to probably start in the Best Friends Forever skill tree. This skill tree has the biggest impact on Death Trap and how he's going. However, if you want to boost your own power, you could start with the Ordered Chaos skill tree because Anarchy is where Macromancer gets her gun damage from. There aren't a lot of other skills that increase her damage. Nothing like Anarchy anyway. This is the best way to get damage out of your Macromancer. So if you go down the left skill tree, there's some things here. Fancy Mathematics will keep you alive. When your Anarchy goes to crap, close enough will make some of those bullets bounce towards enemies so you can still hit things with no accuracy. And then we get down to the Macromancer skills. You do want to max out Potent as a pony, and you also want to max out Made of Sterner Stuff. This will keep Death Trap alive. Now with Made of Sterner Stuff, that's also increasing his melee damage, but Potent as a pony is a really good one for keeping Death Trap alive, and the damage reduction there, even though it's only 10%, he has a ridiculous amount of hit points. That 10% will go a long way. A really good skill for him as well is Upshot Robot. Whenever you kill something, it'll increase Death Trap's duration, so he hangs around for longer, and it'll give him bonus melee damage as well. So for every time you get a kill or Death Trap gets a kill, you'll get an Upshot Robot stack, which will increase his damage by 4% for each stack, and that just keeps going up. I've had over 200 stacks with Death Trap, but he only needs a few stacks for his melee to start skyrocketing. At 200 stacks, he was ridiculous, but he doesn't live long at that point. It's taken a long time to accumulate those stacks. With 20% cooler, this will will accelerate your action skill cooldown rate so you can get him out sooner after he expires or gets blown up. And Sharing is Caring. This is how we give him a copy of your melee shield or your Roid shield. So Sharing is Caring is a must if you want to get power, actual damage out of Death Trap, which is great because it means when you've got 0 Anarchy stacks, so you've just loaded up the game, or you've just died, which unfortunately happens, it means that Death Trap will be ready to nuke enemies with 1 or 2 hits as soon as that melee shield is broken. Might be 3 if you've got the purple shield, 3 or 4, but that damage, he needs that melee shield for that damage. Now with the middle skill tree, you can get some damage for Death Trap from strength of 5 gorillas. And then we want to work to the bottom for make it sparkle, because as I said before, if you can charge him with an element that will double his damage, whatever he does in physical damage will be mirrored by the element that you have given him, and he can apply status effects as well. So if you give him slag, he can slag enemies. If you give him, electrocution, he can electrocute enemies as well. Outside of that, increasing your shield capacity and giving yourself some shock resistance might keep you alive, especially if you want to use a Norfleet. More pep so you can apply status effects so that you can get the benefit out of electrical burn, which is a high damage dealing skill. It loses its effectiveness at the higher levels because health regeneration takes over, but this little bit of extra bonus damage will certainly help you in the long run. And wires don't talk, that'll increase your electrocute damage, which also increases your electrical burn damage as well. I've got 1 point in Annoyed Android, so he can move quickly. You don't want him to move too quickly because he does this thing where he sort of spins out if he's too fast. It makes him move faster, but it doesn't change his turning circle. So if he can't turn sharp enough for the speed, he'll just do laps around the person. So 1 point just to get the benefit from the 5 points from the class mod, so he can jump onto things sooner without losing damage crossing over to another enemy or chasing someone for too long. A little bit of movement speed's good. And then you've got 4 points in Typecast Iconoclast. Sorry, my stutter sort of plays up sometimes. Just so you can reach max stacks 24% quicker. So it's a 24% chance of gaining an additional Anarchy stack, but with this build you've got a maximum of 400 Anarchy, so it still breaks even 100% for 100 Anarchy, 24% of getting one. Anyway, it'll get you there 24% quicker. With weapons won't really matter. You will need to get up close. So, endgame, I don't like to recommend the Twister because it's so hard to get. I spent hours trying to get this gun. So, if you do want to get a Twister, it's great for getting up close and smacking things, because even with 400 Anarchy, it stays relatively accurate. Like, all those pellets are shooting out in front of me. None of them are going behind me or off to the side. So, that is a good one to have. It's also an electric charge, so electrical burn and all that stuff applies. Get some bonus damage from Wires Don't Talk, all that stuff. Unkempt Herald's still a solid gun. Norfleet's great if you can get your hands on that. Anyway, check out the gameplay footage. You'll see Deathtrap, he destroys. And I couldn't help but enjoy watching him just mutilate people. I used to think he was useless until I really made this build work, because I don't know, last time I did it, it was crap, and I just chalked it up to it being crap. Then they increased the level cap and the OP levels, which meant that I had to look at the build again, and some of these builds I've gone back and looked at and just went, why did I do that? So we tried something different with this one, and it's great. It's fantastic. Check out the gameplay footage, give it a go. I hope you get some laughs with this one.